Yeah.
Do you think it improved in Game 5?
Yeah, I think number one, we stayed with it longer. I think, we hadn't done it enough. And so each game we get better at it. I thought we saw things, that we felt like we could take advantage of, and we did that in Game 5. We talked about them in Game 4, we just didn't do them. In Game 5, I thought we did them. And so I thought that was big for us.
You guys were loose yesterday. I mean, you guys were loose and shoot around, loose.
Yeah.
Am I correct in that?
No, I just think we felt like, we were ready. I thought the guys kind of, the few changes. I think the guys just felt very confident in what we were going to do. They didn't know we were going to win or lose. They just, I felt like our guys were very confident going into the game. You don't know how that's going to turn out, but that's how I felt.
The focus for you guys has obviously been taking away Durant, Curry, Thompson.
Yeah.
But as you talked about, some of the other guys started to burn you guys with back cuts and offensive runs and stuff. It seemed like last game you really took that away.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things we can get better in that, which we'll work on today, at least film-wise. And those guys are going to make shots. We know that, but they're making the shots in a way that we want them to. We can do a little bit better on some of our helps. Going into the series, we said the key is not the three guys. The key is how good our help guys, or our catchers is what we're calling them, can catch. And, we were good, but we can be better.
John, can you go back to the Chris Paul trade and the dynamics of it, and whether or not you got everything you asked for?
Yeah. No, well, we did. I mean, we didn't want to at the time. We wanted Chris back. And then once we knew Chris was leaving, our next step was what could we get out of it? And what we got out of it turned out to be tremendous. When you think you got Trez and Lou, and you can just stop there, turned out to be, for us, terrific, but for them too. I mean, it was one of the trades where we clearly needed to change. We were kind of stuck in our identity, and it was pretty much sure we wasn't going anywhere. So once CP decided he was leaving, I thought, well, the next best thing was to see what we could get, and what we ended up with was very good.
Do you remember that you said, "No, we're not going to do it once we get Pat Bev also"? Or did it come down to a player?
No, I mean, Pat was definitely one of the asks, for sure. We actually asked for even more. You really want to know what we asked for. But Trez, Pat, I mean, the package we were getting, we felt like at the time was a good package for us. I mean, we didn't know it was going to be that good, but we knew Lou would give us scoring. Like, that's the one thing. I knew we were losing to Jamal, and I felt like now we got to lose. And so we kind of replaced and didn't go anywhere with that. Pat, we knew what we were getting as far as his toughness. Trez was the unknown. We didn't know what we were getting with Trez. We liked that he played hard, and literally it stopped there.
When did you see him start to turn the corner?
In training camp, literally in training camp. The first year, I remember in our coaches meeting after the third day, I said, "Is it me, but can Trez score?" And I remember our guys said, "Well, he's never scored," So everybody kind of rolled their eyes, and I was like, "I swear, I think he can score." And one of our coaches hilariously said, "On us, but we don't know if he can score on like he literally said, on an NBA team," which I was like, "Well, that's a hell of a statement." And then through training camp, through preseason, he kept scoring, on rolls and on hands, on stuff like that. The post game was at the end of last year, and now coming into this, that's what changed. Where before it was all rolls and catches, now it's just straight post ups. We can throw it to him.
He's a very unorthodox scorer.
Very.
He doesn't really shoot the range.
No.
Today's game.
They know which way he's going for the most part. His first step is lethal, and he does it with great power. And so I think that's what allows him to be such a good post player.
Threes have been such a big topic with this team all season. We talked about why you shoot more.
Not for us. It's been a big topic for you guys.
Us,
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah.
You guys have shot more in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And last night, I think was the 7th most threes you shot all season.
Yeah.
Was that a kind of result of ball movement, or is that a concerted effort?
Result of ball movement was one, and the concerted effort is our spacing. Golden State's too good to not be spaced, and if we're going to space, what we're saying is space behind the three-point line. We have a group that starts the game that all 5 guys can shoot threes. We haven't had that group this season. So at least played with that group, and so that's why we shoot more threes.
Do you like that style of offense? The style you guys.
I like the way we're playing just because of who we're playing. If we played someone else, we may go the other way, But I like the way we're playing because who we're playing.
Doc, you've been on the other side where you've been the number 1 and number 2 seed, lower seed.
Yeah.
How do you protect your team that's heavily favored from becoming complacent? Not saying that that's what the Warriors do here, but you've been in that position.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, listen, I've not been in Steve's position where it's 5 years in a row, But I always felt like no matter what we did, once the playoffs started, we were pretty good. And then the playoffs started, and you had a couple of complacent games. I mean, we won 7 games in the first round, 2008, with Atlanta. And they beat us, in our minds. They beat us 1 game in Atlanta. The other 2 games, I thought the city of Atlanta beat us. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought, I was appalled by it. Like, what the hell, guys? Having said that, it was probably for that team the best thing that happened because it created adversity to a team that hadn't had any. Golden State's had adversity, so they don't need any more.
You'll be curious about what the crowd will be like tomorrow.
I think we'll be good. I go back to the Game 3 crowd where we assumed, because I knew more about tickets than you guys know as far as the actual single sales. And our crowd was still louder. You should never have to say that at home. But it is what it is. But I think our crowd will be amazing tomorrow.
Landry had his 6 points in the first 5 minutes against the thing. Finished for 37 minutes, but didn't score again.
Yeah.
Where does he make his impact, even though it's not?
Oh, I think if you look at his plus minus, you should take a look. It's his impact is they're so concerned with him. We're using him to run, and he's literally running guys out of help. He's been phenomenal, and he's accepted that. If they leave him open, he'll get a shot. But if not, the spacing and what he can do with picks have been phenomenal for us. So we couldn't be happier with the way he's playing offensively.
What about Sham on the defensive end?
He's been great. That's where Sham's been good. We gotta get Shea to be better defensively. But he's been off the charts.
When did you realize he was capable of stepping up and guarding a Clay or a Steph in the series?
2 days ago. I'm not kidding. I mean, let's be honest. You go in this series and you're like, okay, we got Shea and Sham and Clay and Steph. And we were thinking one of them has to be really good. And it's been Sham, and we're happy with that. But we didn't know that. I can guarantee you I didn't know.
What's it been like in terms of the film study for the 2 rookies to watch how Steph and Clay move?
I think for Sham, it's probably more educational, because they play the way Sham wants to play someday, as far as all the movement away. And Sham even says, man, I tell you, when you're just studying them now and watching them and guarding them, he said it to Sam the other day, he said, I'm better already. I'm just better. I'm a better player already just from playing against these guys and seeing it. They do things I would have never thought of, and so I think Sham is seeing that. It's a good education for him.
Doc, how important was Jamaica?
Huge. Defensively, and the early threes stretching the floor were huge for us. That's why we put them in there. We felt like they were just, kind of caking it in. Jamaica makes them come back out, and so he's been huge for us. Him and Gal. Like when you can get your 5 and your 4 behind the line making shots, the paint will get open quickly, and that's what happened.
I think his time in Memphis has mostly been used inside the paint. But
Yeah.
Did you know that he could, so swift, move his feet really well? Did you know
Defensively,
that?
that's been an ongoing debate in our office because during the regular season overall, he was one day. And so He's proven that he can, but what he hasn't proven that he's doing it now is that he can do it consistently. Now he's doing it consistently. That's been great for us. When you have a 5 that can switch on 2, 3s, 4s, it's unusual and it's great. So.
You
I was just gonna say the rebounding has been one like throughout the series.
Key.
Right.
Yeah,
Last
it's key.
night, what did you see from?
I saw our guards get in the fight finally. You know, Pat's been in the fight because, I mean, I don't have to say much more. But I thought all of them. Sham had 2 rebounds down the stretch where he was a small versus a 4 or 5, and he came out with the ball. They have to get rebounds. We're so stretched defensively against them with all this catching and top blocking. That's the bad part of the top blocks is we are off their bodies when the shot goes up, and a lot of times it's our guards. So, you know, we know we have to do that to stop those 3 guys, but we also know it opens up rebounding. And our guards, I thought last night, made a concerted effort of getting their hands dirty and getting in the fight.
Hey, Doc, sorry for what was already asked, but what's the win do for you guys in confidence-wise going against this?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if we needed a confidence boost, to be honest. I think we are confident, so not sure. You know, it reinforces what we're doing, I guess.
Question, like, maybe a bit of a weird question, but is there a difference in maybe how demoralizing, how you react to when stuff gets really hot and gets going to when Kevin Durant?
No, I would say the guy guarding either one of them is pretty demoralizing. You know, I think Steph, when he scores, I think he scores through a lot of their actions, so that's tougher in some ways. When Durant scores, he scores because he's just good and bigger, you know, and that's what we tell our guys too. Like if he scores off the dribble on you, just don't worry about it. And then you can do it. If he scores off a movement, then that's on us. You know, and that's what we're trying to tell our guys. So, all right, guys.